Because obviously I thought then, that's it. I'm done. You know, I was like, I just might as well kill myself, because everybody's going to believe all this was in the newspapers, and where do I go? What's the point? You're stood there and you get a 3-year prison term, and you've literally sold all your businesses, everything by this time, my life was chaotic, but successful.
What was that first night in prison like? Because let's be honest, you've spent your young adult life working on the doors in Bristol. You've been in scarier situations than I've ever been in my life. You were getting into fight, but going into prison, and some of these were serious prisons you were going to as well.
Yeah, the first one was, the second day I was in there, there was a riot, and they set fire to the jail, and I was locked in my cell. And then we got shipped out, and I was moved around. The judge wasn't particularly happy I got found guilty, and he recommended that I was Cat D straight away, which is effectively a semi-open, a pointless place. But it's where long-term prisoners tend to do, or famous people tend to do their sentence. This is brilliant. We might as well do this now. I was shipped out from there straight to Cat D, and you could work across the road in the gardens, and it was in an industrial estate. Very clever idea. They didn't just supply all the fruit and veg for that jail; they went to all the prisons. It was a massive sort of process of where the inmates would grow and nurture and take care of the fruit and vegetable over there. But you could quite freely just walk into the industrial estate. So I've been in a few months by now, and I had a bit of a run-in with one of the officers in the jail, and he just started monitoring my phone calls. And of course, after a while in there, so I wanted to meet up with Lorna, and so she drove. It was visiting day anyway, and he knew. And this is how horrible it can get. So he must think, right, sweet. So we got all times right. I'll be over there at 9. You come at 10. As long as we're back by, I only needed a minute. I said, as long as we're back by 10:30. I said, no one to know. We've gone, and everybody was doing it. Literally, everybody was doing it. So I jumps in the motor, surrounded by police. Of course, then you're regarded as a prisoner that's trying to escape. So you get cat aid.
So where was it after that?
Isle of Wight, and that was 23-hour a day bang up. That was
with some serious people,
proper criminals. Not like in Ford. It was they were what's the name of fraudsters and that kind of thing. They weren't like, this sounds terrible. People are gonna hate me, but they weren't bad criminals.
Yeah, but they're scary people and dangerous people. But then what was that like, and what did it do to you? Did it have a lasting effect on you?
For some people, you either embrace it and make sure it never happens again, or you just become a career criminal. Because if you can handle it and it's okay, and it is in a way, it's very structured again, there's no deviation. And for me, that was the perfect environment for me to eventually address a lot of issues. And fair play, the help available in there is second to none, whether you're a drug addict or you have no education, or they cater for it incredibly. And I met an incredible man called Dickie Knox, who played darts for the Isle of Wight and was involved in the county and everything over there. And he was a prison officer in the jail I was in, and saved my life and saved my career.
In what way?
Um, he was like a father, but a good one that didn't judge and gave me confidence to go. Because obviously I thought then, that's it. I'm done. I was like, I just might as well kill myself, because everybody's going to believe all this was in the newspapers, and where do I go? What's the point? What was the point for me? I'm never gonna, I'm never gonna get another chance. And you just sort of think, right, you plan the whole process, how, when, write a note, and then you just sort of think,
You got that far?
oh yeah, yeah. And loads of it happened in there as well. I actually had a job in there on the unit where suicide attempts were held, like in a hospital unit. But I had the job of cleaning up the cells, because no one really wanted to do that. And I didn't mind it. It didn't really faze me at all. And of course, I'm going, all right, that's how we done it.
I'm just giving you ideas.
Yeah, so it was just sort of
So
like...
what brought you back from the brink?
Dickie Knox. He was an officer in there and absolutely loved me. And didn't mind telling me he loved me as a player. He used to love watching me, and he would sit me down, and he knew. And he went, you ain't going to do it. He won't let you. He said, you'll come back. And then there was old schoolrooms in there that were no longer used, and I had a knock on my cell door one afternoon, and the work screw was there. He went, oi, mate, come with me. And he had a dartboard in his hand, an hockey and a light. What's going on here? We go through these doors in the prison, and then we get this empty old room, nothing in it. Big, thick walls, as you imagine. And he had a tape measure and a pencil. He went, right, show me how you want it done. And that was it. We had a light up, and then every day, when everybody got locked down, I was in there for 2-3 hours at a time.